Yo, what's going on? So today I'm going to be going over a operator tier list, a fully updated one, by the way. Now it does have up to Aurora, so we're gonna consider like Clash, for instance, as a new operator. So her new operator self, not the old one, because this is one when Aurora came out, not when the Clash rework came out. So without any further ado, let's just hop straight into it, into this tier list. So our first pick is Ace. Now, if you're not putting Ace in the S tier, what are you doing? He is by far the best hard breacher. By far, literally, like there's no saying it. He has 3 summas. He's basically Hibana but times 3 and like times 2 the speed. And he has a great primary assault rifle. He can bring claymores or breach charges. He's basically a one-man army if you think about it. I mean, he might be a top 5 operator. He might be a top 3 operator. Okay, so next we have Alibi. I'm thinking C. I think she perfectly fits in C. Like, you never really see an Alibi past gold because she's just not good anymore. You can bring pretty much any operator that can counter her. Twitch, Brava, a drone will do it. So she's very easy to countered, and just because of that, I'm putting her in D tier. The only thing she's good for, actually no, the thing I'm putting her in C tier for is if you're shooting down a window and you just get the ping off. That's the only good thing about it, because then you can play in jump outs and stuff. Amaru. Now Amaru might be the definition of B tier. Now look, okay. If we're talking about a champion playing Amaru, it's A tier operator. If we're talking about anyone below a champion or diamond, I would say we're talking B tier. And if you're in copper, well, obviously. But anyway, and the reason I'm saying that she's A tier operator is if you plant your drones and you just flood the site, they are not going to expect that. No one expects Amaru rushes. So if you know where and how to plant your camera, you can have some crazy Amaru plays, which is why I think that Amaru is a B tier operator, simply because there's not enough people that know how to properly use Amaru. And so I just think that she's perfectly fits in the B tier. Aruni might be an A tier operator. Her utility is killing utility. Like that's what she does. She literally, her gadget just kills flashes, kills drones sometimes. If you tag somebody, they have to walk through an Aruni gate if they don't want to waste their drones or flashes. Like, if there's 10 seconds left in the game, I doubt they have both their flashes, and they might have their drone. And you're going to have to waste that in order to walk through, or they're just going to have to walk through and take a bunch of damage, leaving you in a much, much more winnable gunfight. So she's an A-tier operator for me. I just think that her weapon selection could be a bit better. The DMR is a really good weapon, but the P10 Roni has fallen off ever since it lost its what's it called, 1.5. Next up is Ashe. Now, if we're talking legitimately, like if we're actually playing Ashe for her utility or because she's a fragger op, she's S tier. Then if we're talking about the best frag op, if we're talking about the best utility, she's a B tier. And I think I'm gonna go off of. I think this whole list is utility based. I'm doing a utility based list, so she's B tier. I mean, she can get hatches on the roofs. She can open up breaches, like with her breach charges, soft walls. She can destroy mirrors, though. She can destroy mirrors. That makes her A tier. She can destroy mirrors. That's super helpful once you get into the higher ranks where they actually know how to use mirror strats, where to use them, when to use them. Yeah, perfect. So I think she's a perfect A tier operator just for utility. Azami is another S tier operator. I mean, you can make so many angles, cut off angles. Make entrances unentranceable without you hearing the punching of the Azami barricade or the shooting of someone's gun trying to destroy it. She's an S tier operator. She might be a top 3 defender. She might be the best defender on this list. Like, she might be the best defender on this list. And she's just so good. She's just such a good operator. Next up, we have Bandit. Now, do I think Kate is better than Bandit? I do. But do I still think Bandit deserves a spot in the B tier? I do. Because, see, once Kate gets banned, it's like, oh, I'll just go Bandit. Because I think Bandit tricking... Okay. here's what I'm saying. I think bandit tricking is easier for lower ranks to do than bandit tricking is for, or than K, like, okay, than K tricking. Okay, so low ranks struggle with K tricking, but they can kind of bandit trick. Higher ranks don't need to bandit trick because they already know how to K trick. So I think it's all just in the ranks. But as far as utility goes, I mean, he can't get the hatches like Cade can, which Cade can get the hatches. Cade can get 3 walls with one thing. I think Bandit's a perfect B tier operator. Blackbeard, okay. Pre-nerf, he was, or pre-buff, he was F tier. Yeah, he sucked. No one played him. He had like I think a 2% play rate. I'm not even joking. But now, see, Blackbeard has worked his way up into the C tier type of operator because he has a shield with an he has a shield, and he also has an AR in the same token. So I think he's a C tier. But if you play Blackbeard, you're weird. Blitz might be an A tier operator. And that's just because of how, you don't even have to have any skill to play him. Like, that's how good of an operator he is. But again, it's one of those operators, you play him, you're weird. Brava is an S tier operator, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. She can get Kapkan traps, mute jammers, Aruni gates, and literally so much more utility. Maestro cameras, Ella mines. She can get Valkyrie cameras. She can get every single piece of technology on the other team's like utility list, and then she can use them herself, like a Maestro cam, and with 30 seconds left on the clock, and Maestro, or someone on the other team is 1 HP, you just shoot him with the Maestro cam. It's so broken, and it's so good. Buck is another A tier operator, but he has the heart breaches. Oh, he used to. They removed his heart breaches, I think. Yeah, I think they removed his heart breaches. So that puts him A tier. He used to be S tier operator. He could pretty much be a one-man army. He could shoot the bandits or K's from below if it was a wood floor, and then go up and hard breach the wall. He was a really good operator pre-nerf, but he got nerfed. So Capital, we might have our first D tier operator, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna move Alibi down to the D tier. I'm moving Alibi down to D tier, actually, too. So I think Capital and Alibi are our first D tier operators, as Capital is not nearly as strong as it used to be. And the fact about Capital is that you have to know where to put your fire, and you have to know where to put your smokes. And for a lot of lower ranks, like maybe even up into Emerald, they might not understand the full potential of Capital, which is why I'm putting him in the D tier, as his utility is just not that good compared to someone like Ying, who can completely blind the enemy. The fire is it's useful. It's better than Tachanka. It's worse than Goyo. So I think he's a perfect D tier operator. I'm putting him in C. He's not comparable with Alibi. Alibi is kind of butt. Castle might be ASSA now, and I'm not even gonna talk about the castle glitch that was happening like 3 days ago. That was the corniest thing ever. If you did the castle glitch, you actually need to like find the touch of a woman, because it's pretty weird that you're doing a glitch to win. Like, even if I was losing, you were not going to catch me doing the castle glitch to save my elo. I would proudly lose a game than do this stupid castle glitch. So I'm putting him in the A tier, and I think that you can, if you know how to play castle really well, you can make some crazy plays with Castle, and that's why I'm putting him in the A tier of the operators. Kavera, we might have our first F tier. Dude, the only thing that Kavera has good for her is her ability. Like, that's it. Her pistol got nerfed again. It's not as good as it used to be. If it was Prime Cav 99 damage pistol, she would be an S tier operator. But since it got nerfed, the only thing that she's got going for her is her interrogation, which you can rarely get off, and then her silent step. That's literally all she has for her. So actually, I'm gonna put her on the D tier. I think that her and Alibi are pretty comparable with each other. Clash. Okay, so remember, this is after rework. So this is reworked Clash. It's between B and A tier, man. I'm thinking B tier because a lot of people don't understand that the Izami Clash tech is so broken if you know how to do it. but she's nowhere near S tier. Like, she's nowhere near these three operators. But I think she's definitely a B tier operator. I'm gonna put her in B. She has, I just wish Ubisoft would stop reworking shield operators, please. We could use a rework on Thorn or something like that. We don't need a rework on Clash or nothing like that. So, yeah, I think that she perfectly fits in B tier. As her shield is not deployable, which is kind of broken, but yeah. Anyway, Deimos, S tier operator. Dude, if you have good aim at all, you only need to hit 2 shots to kill somebody with Deimos' pistol for 1, and you get wall hacks. It's literally, if you suck with Deimos, then you just suck, period. Deimos is not that hard to be good with if you practice in the shooting range. Like, if you practice in the shooting range at all, you should be good with Deimos. And his ability, wall hacks, is absolutely broken. And not only is it good for you, but it's good for your entire team if you're, like, with a stack, because you can tell them exactly where the enemy is, and you can just flood that guy and get an easy frag. So, Deimos is S-tier operator. Doc. Oh, see, it depends how you play Doc. I think he's an A-tier operator. His MP5 is so good. But if you're roaming with Doc, you have a problem, because Doc is a team operator. And I think that if you're doing anything else with Doc, then there's a problem. Dokkaebi is an S-tier operator. Okay, Dokkaebi is one of the best attackers in the game, and that's no questions asked. You can literally make sound happen, and basically, if you have a decent headset, you can hear any sound, and then the vibrations of that phone, you can hear how close they are, how far they are, and then where to swing. Like, you can just, it literally makes sound. Like, so if someone's camping in a corner, they have to basically move, or else they're gonna get, like, wall banged or killed or something like that. She's such a good operator if you particularly knows how to use her, because if you know how to use her, she's an S-tier operator. Echo, C-tier operator. Only thing he's good for is denying plants, so I'll put him in the B tier. I'll put him in the B tier for Echo, just because he's so good at denying plants if you know how to do it. We might have our first, so that's it for Echo, but I think we might have our first F tier. And a lot of people are going to be mad at me for this. The Scorpion, whatever her AR or SMG is, it is so butt. I hate that gun. That gun, it shoots like freaking pebbles. So I think, do I think Ela is comparable to Alibi? Yes. But do I think she's worse? I don't know. I think she's a D tier operator. We are going to get some F tier operators in a little bit, but Fenrir, he's still so good. He is still such a good operator. Blinding the enemy is so literally, and then being able to get the code back after a Grismot, or not a Grismot, a F-Not is destroyed. You get the code back so you can activate somewhere else, and then you can constantly blind the enemy. He's such a good operator, even in the highest ranks of the game. Finka. I think Finka has C written all over her. The only thing she's good for is when a teammate gets low and reviving a teammate. Like, that's it. Her guns are pretty good too. But, like, if you're bringing a Finka instead of, like, a hard breach or something, you need to bring a hard breach. Like, Finka's not comparable to Capitao. I don't think Finka and Capitao are comparable at all. Okay, now Flores is a very underrated pick. He might be an A-tier operator, and let me tell you why. The only counter to him is your gun and a mute jammer. That's it. And if you shoot the Flores drone, it doesn't matter, because if you just plant it before, like, if you see someone aiming at your Flores drone, you might as well detonate it, as you're not going to get away. So I think he's a B-tier operator, actually, just because of how easy it is to counter him. Prime Flores was really good, though, because you couldn't shoot a drone. You couldn't shoot it. You had to either, I think you either had to blow it up, or you had to just run away and let it blow up. All right, Frost. I'm putting Frost in D tier. If we're talking Prime Frost, where it would actually knock the enemy and someone else would have to come res them, she would be a B tier operator. B tier. But since that's not there and you can now self-revive, she's C tier. The only thing she's good for is if it's like a 1v1 and she steps in a Frost mount. or someone stepped in a frost mat, you can just go kill them. Fuse. Okay. A lot of people are going to think I'm stupid or something for saying this, but dude, Fuse is like a B tier operator, and I'm going to say this with a lot of passion because Fuse makes me so mad. Fuse pisses me off to another limit. But I think for Fuse, you can get a kill in the lower in like plat. I still get Fuse. I still get kills with Fuse in plat, almost emerald obbies. And I get, and you destroy a bunch of like until you force the room to empty out. If you're playing vert, especially like, let's think of border for example. Border is the perfect like bathroom is the perfect example of when to play Fuse. You can clear out the entirety of bathroom, drop the hatch, plant the diffuser, just have your teammates watch the rotates, and you get the win off every single time. Just because Fuse is forced to clear the room, and no one's gonna look up and shoot a Fuse charge while there's enemies on bathroom window or in venti hallway. No one's gonna do that. Glaz might be our first F tier operator. I don't know why people like to play Glaz so much in the lower ranks, but dude, he is only good on plane. Like, otherwise, bring someone else. Bring a Cali. Cali's better than Glaz. F tier operator. Glaz is F tier operator. He's just not good. Goyo's an S tier operator. Goyo is an S tier operator. His gun, the ACOG with the what's it called? The Vector with the ACOG is absolutely unstoppable. Not even including his fire damage is through the roof, and you can shoot the Goyos at any time. And it takes your primary. So that's why Tachanka is so much worse, because you have to take out a second weapon. With Goyo, you don't have to do that. Gridlock is an A tier operator, and because you can cut off rotates, you can cut off doorways, you can cut off hatches if they want to drop the hatch. You can cover off anything that you want to, and she can plant the bomb. The only thing that's wrong with Gridlock is her her speed and her loudness. She is probably one of the loudest operators in the game, which makes it really hard to get into the site, but once you do, she's unstoppable. Grim's a B tier operator, and Grim's A tier. Grim's A tier operator. It's the same thing as Deimos basically, but you have to but you just shoot the bees at somebody and they are forced to leave that area, or else you're just going to shoot them because you can wallbang them, you can swing them pre-fire. He's a really good operator. Hibana is the worst of the hard reachers, unfortunately. She can only make head holes unless you use 12 of her 16 Excarios pellets, which just makes her so bad. It just makes her such a bad operator. I think that she is definitely the worst hard breacher, but when now that Ace and Thermite get banned, she's a solid pick, but I'd go Maverick all day long more. Iana is the literal epitome of C tier. She's literally just a walking drone. That's all she is. IQ is a B tier operator. Getting rid of all that intel is super important. Getting rid of the default cameras, Valkyrie cameras, Kapkan traps, mute jammers, all that stuff it's amazing. The only problem with IQ is you have to take out your pistol, which can leave you in a terrible gunfight scenario. If you're scanning and you see that someone's on their phone and then they swing you wide because they know that you're on your IQ thing, odds are you're going to win the gunfight because they have a assault rifle and you have a pistol. Jackal. We don't see Jackal getting banned anymore, and I don't understand why. Jackal is a GOAT operator. Jackal he forces people to run away in such a way. He just does it the perfect way. Jaeger. Do I think Wamai's better? Yes. But do I think Jaeger... Okay, listen. There's some scenarios, like downstairs on Oregon, I think Jaeger's the better pick. Jaeger's a B tier operator. I think that Jaeger has... I like how you can reuse them instead of Wamai's gadget, which you have to throw down a new one each time you want to do it. So, yeah, I think Jaeger is a little bit better than Wamai. K's an S tier operator. I mean, 3 walls at a time... 3 walls with one thing is absolutely absurd. You can get 6 of the 10 walls if you want to. He can get hatches from downstairs. I mean, he's a GOAT operator. Callie is a D tier operator, or Callie's a C tier operator. She can destroy bandits and all that stuff. Wall denial especially. She's got a really good secondary. She's all right. Kapkan is the definition of D tier operator, C tier operator. You know, all you gotta do is drone. That's all you have to do to counter Kapkan. It's not that hard. Lesion is a B tier operator. Lesion's an A tier operator. You know, the anti-plant is super good for someone like Lesion. You know, he counters the plant so well, which is why I like him. Lion is Lion's D tier. All you have to do is not move. It's like for like 2 seconds you don't have to move. Maestro's been getting a lot of play in the scene recently. Do I think he's A tier? No. Do I think he's B tier? Yes. All it takes is an Ash charge or a grenade or a Zofia charge or something like that to destroy Maestro. Brava is the perfect counter to Maestro. She can literally just take over his gadget. That's literally what she does. It's just so good. Maverick is the third best of the 4 primary hard reachers. I'm putting B tier. I'm putting him B tier. I think that it takes a long time for him to get his gadget to work, but once it works, it's like Thermite or Ace. Melusi is an A tier operator, slowing down the opponent, making them look a different direction to shoot the Melusi, leaves them literally so vulnerable to getting their head absolutely blown to shreds, and I think that she's just an amazing operator. Mira's S tier operator. I mean, creating one-way angles. You know, she literally creates one-way angles on border. You know, she creates quick peek ability. She just makes everyone around her better. Montang C tier, dude. I think that Blitz is by far the best shield op on attack. I think that Montang is only good for like hard pushing into sight, but then again, Blitz does it better because they can't see anything. Mozzie's D tier operator. I think that Mozzie has really good potential, but then again, you know, just once you see the little Mozzie pest pop up on your screen, just stop driving your drone. Like, I don't get it. Mute's S tier. You know, Mute, I mean, what do I even have to say? He's wall denial, he's drone denial, he's anti-entry, breach charges and all that. He's the GOAT. He's one of the best defenders of all time. Nock has gone through a lot of things in the past few years. She used to be a really good operator, maybe even A tier. Now she's back into F tier. All that she has now is she can't be spotted by cams. She's literally vigil on attack. She's so butt. Nomad's an A tier operator. Nomad's an A tier operator for covering flanks. That's literally all Nomad's really good for. And if someone's corner camping, if someone's sitting in a corner, you shoot an air jab at them. They're literally forced to exit that corner, or else they're going to get literally blown that way, leading to a free kill. Oryx, F tier operator. Only thing he's good for is rotating. That's it. That's the only thing he's good for. Osa, B tier operator. Her shield creates really good angles, really cool angles. You can do that little stand up quick peek thing, or you can quick peek to the side. She's a B tier operator. Pulse is really good, except for upstairs. Any upstairs site you go a Pulse, I don't know why. But unless you want to do that C4 thing from below, but like if you're sitting downstairs while the site's upstairs, you just kind of ruin the purpose. I think it's a B tier operator. You know, he can C4 pretty much anybody. Anybody really, because no one's gonna suspect you. Like, I have a thing on Oregon. It works every time. I get a kill every time. Ram's an A tier operator just because of how situational she is. Like, she's not good at all upstairs, and she's only good on middle floor and basement. That's why I'm putting her A tier instead of S tier. If she was good on the roof of a building, then she would be the best attacking operator in the game. But her vert plays are so good. I mean, honestly. Rook. The only thing he's got going good for him is the MP5 and the Rook armor. Impact grenades too, but that's it. Sense. See, now we're getting into the worser operators. F tier. Sen's F tier. Why are you playing Sen's? Go someone else. Literally go Ying. If you want to play someone like that, go Ying. Sentry. Sentry is an interesting operator. He's D tier. I mean, he's alright. He's an alright operator. Sledge. Same thing for Sledge. D tier. You know, the only thing that this one has for him is the C4 and impacts, because you can make rotates and make, you know, blow people up. So that's the only thing he's good for. Same thing for Sledge. Just got the breaching hammer. That's all he's got going for him. Smoke Smoke is probably one of the better entry denial operators. I'm putting him B tier. I think he's perfect in B tier. It's just I wish his smoke lasted a little longer. Pre-nerf Solace would have been S tier. Now she's like C tier. The only thing she's good for now is finding drones later in the round, which is literally pointless as people are gonna hop on and off of their drones. But she's still not a terrible operator. But in her prime, she was one of the best operators. That was when Siege was like the most fun. Striker's D tier as well. You know, he's a one-man army, but you get a little tiny hole in the wall that you have to vault through. So, not good. Tachanka's F tier. Don't play Tachanka. The only thing he's good for is cutting off angles, and that's it. And it lasts like 10 seconds. So, Thatcher, A tier operator. Best wall denial. Twitch is alright too, but, you know, I like Thermite, A tier operator. Ace gets banned the first round. Who do you go to? You go to Thermite. That's what I do when I need Thermite. Thorn's also D tier. Thorn is very situational. She's just not that good. The only thing she's good for is putting your Thorn traps on a default plane. So actually I'll put her up to C. I'll put her up to C tier in that I think she's good if you put your Thorn traps in the right spot. If you're putting them on doorways, I don't know why you do that. I put them somewhere in sight where they have to turn their back and run back through a door, leading to free kill. Thunderbird's F tier, dude. You have to run to go heal. Like, you're literally just saying to yourself, oh, shoot me while I'm running to go get my heal. That's like 20 health. Tubarao. Tubaro's A tier. I think that but Tubaro's so good. I think the K Tubaro combo is unstoppable unless they have a Twitch, which is actually my next pick as an S tier operator. She's so good. She can get literally anything. She's broken. Okay, let's just get that out there. Twitch. I mean, you have to shoot the drone. Well, see, Twitch is A tier because it's a drone, and it's probably gonna get shot. That's not the same thing for Bravo though, as you can literally hack anything from a mile away if all you have to do is see it. And Twitch is only good for like the heartbeat of a wall. Valkyrie. Valkyrie's gotten really strong recently. She's A tier. I'm giving her A tier. She's a really strong operator, really good. I think Valkyrie is a very strong operator. Vigil's B tier if we think about it. Vigil is probably the best roamer right now. There's a lot of people playing Vigil recently. I think that he's A tier. I think that he's A tier operator, good flank, good roamer. Wamai's B tier, man. Wamai's B tier, but he's worse than Jaeger. Let's just put that out there. Wamai's worse than Jaeger. And it's because the gadget, for one, still works, and for two, like if it's a flash, it still goes off. If it's a smoke grenade, it still goes off. That's why I think that, what's his name? That's why I think Jaeger's better. Now we have Warden. Warden's B tier, and his gadget, people shame on Warden too much. His gadget's good, okay? He's the perfect counter to Ying. He's the perfect counter to anyone with a flashbang. If you know when to time it, you're good. And that just puts Ying in B tier. These two pretty much go hand in hand with each other. This counters this, and so yeah, I think she's B tier. I think she is a little bit better than Warden, but yeah, Zero is an underrated pick. He's A tier operator. He's a one-man army. He can literally get any wall he wants. All he has to do is just shoot the Zero cam into the floor above. He can get bandits, he can get K's, he can get mute jammers off the drone holes or walls or whatever. He's A tier operator. Zophius is D tier operator. Want to be Ash? What can I say? Skopos is F tier. Skopos is a D tier operator. I'd say Skopos is a D tier operator in that she's only good for when you place her thing in like a really good flank spot that isn't gonna get destroyed. Like that's the only time she's good. Raora is a perfect example of C tier. She's only good for playing Vert and cutting off those all right, we'll take Border for example. If you want to play Vert on Bathroom, she's the perfect pick. She can block off those flanky doors, and then you can actually play Vert safely. So I think this is a pretty good tier list. If you guys do want me to make any changes, or if you guys want me to redo this with a different game or something like that, please let me know in the comments down below. If you guys did enjoy this video, please like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications for more awesome videos. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.